Hi, YouTube audience. This is Jay again. I have an important topic to discuss today, and that is financial literacy. So, what exactly is financial literacy? Financial literacy is knowledge about financial issues. In other words, money. And why is this an important topic? Well, it's important because money is something that is with us as humans during our entire lifetime. It is something that affects our survival. It is something that affects our growth. Whether or not we thrive depends on it. It affects our relationships. It affects our families. In short, there is no area of life that is not affected by resources or money. That is why financial literacy or knowledge about money, how to earn it, how to save it, how to manage it, and how to invest it are all very important topics that we should all be concerned about. I came across an interesting article on the Finra website. Finra is a federal agency that is dedicated to financial knowledge and education of the general populace. This article was actually published in August of 2022, so very recently. And the title of the article is Why is Measured Financial Literacy Declining and What Does It Mean? Maybe we just don't know. This was an article that describes research done across a 12-year period among U.S. adults from the years 2009 to 2001. And this was done using a Finra Investor Education Foundation's National Financial Capability Study. The study was actually done using a questionnaire composed of 5 questions, and the responses to those questions were tabulated. What was found in summary was that the average score of U.S. adults declined in almost all demographic and racial/ethnic categories between the years 2009 and 2021. In other words, the apparent trend of financial literacy among U.S. adults appears to be that the scores are declining and that general financial literacy is declining. So we will go further into this article. We start off with the introduction, which talks about the complexity of the financial world currently with a plethora of new financial products and services, and that it is difficult for people to understand these and to make good financial decisions. Now, this is concerning because this can certainly affect the ability to save for retirement, the ability to withstand financial shocks, and it affects general quality of life. Because it has been shown that financial literacy can be closely correlated with financial health and how well a person does with money. So we come across the 5 questions that they used in this study. The first question is actually an interest question and gauges an understanding of an ability to calculate simple interest. The question reads, suppose you had $100 in a savings account and the interest rate was 2% per year. After 5 years, how much do you think you would have in the account if you left the money to grow? Now, the correct answer is more than $102. But the choices are more than 102, less than 102, exactly 102, do not know, and prefer not to say. The next question is an inflation question and gauges an understanding of how inflation impacts purchasing power. The question reads, imagine that the interest rate on your savings account was 1% per year and inflation was 2% per year. After 1 year, how much would you be able to buy with the money in this account? The answers are more than today, less than today, exactly the same, do not know, and prefer not to say. The correct answer is less than today because, as we know, inflation devalues money, and since the rate of inflation in this case is higher than the rate of interest, you would have less money or less ability to buy things with the money in this account because it would be decreased compared to the prior year. The third question is a bond question. It gauges an understanding of how bond pricing is related to interest rates. The question is, if interest rates rise, what will typically happen to bond prices? The answers are they will rise, they will stay the same, they will fall. There is no relationship between bond price and interest rate. Don't know and prefer not to say. The correct answer is they will fall. The fourth question is a mortgage question. And the question reads, a 15-year mortgage typically requires higher monthly payments than a 30-year mortgage, but the total interest paid over the life of the loan will be less. The correct answers are true, false, don't know, and prefer not to say. The correct answer is true because overall, a 15-year mortgage, and the advantage of a 15-year mortgage is that the holder will pay less interest on that mortgage compared to a 30-year mortgage. And that is the advantage on paying a mortgage quicker or earlier. The fifth question is a risk question. It reads, please tell me whether this statement is true or false. Buying a single company's stock usually provides a safer return than a stock mutual fund. The answers are true, false, don't know, and prefer not to say. The correct answer is false because the risk for a single company stock is obviously higher than a mutual fund, which is a basket of stocks. and thus is diversified, therefore decreasing the risk. We come to figure 1, which is a chart of the correct responses from 2009 to 2021, the average number of correct responses, and you can see that the correct responses on the average went down from 2.99 in 2009 to 2.58 in 2021. So on the average, the people that took this test were able to answer 3 out of 5 questions correctly back in 2009, and only 2.58 out of 5 questions correctly in 2021. So the number of correct responses have declined over these years. The don't know responses, on the other hand, have increased from 1.22 unknown responses to 1.45 unknown responses out of 5 between the years of 2009 and 2021. You can see that in figure 3 that the questions on interest and mortgage had higher correct percentages, whereas inflation, bond, and risk had lower correct percentages. So it's possible that the test takers found those questions more difficult or did not know the responses to those. There were also demographic differences. In figure 4, we see that 25% of males answered correctly versus 16% of females. It appears that the decline in average number of correct responses was most pronounced among the 18 to 29-year-olds and 30 to 39-year-olds from the years 2009 to 2021, as there was a 26% decline in both age categories. In conclusion, there has generally been a decline in financial literacy among different age groups as well as different demographic groups. So I think that it would be important to concentrate and focus more on financial literacy, whether it be through podcasts, YouTube, schools, governmental associations, so that we could reverse these trends and try to improve the nation's financial literacy, because that will result in very likely an improved financial status of American families and better qualities of life. Thanks for watching and listening to this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.